So, any questions? Any questions? I'll take any and all questions right now. Yes, sir. Yeah, no, that's a great question. The first half of the question is I think to a certain degree I might have had, I guess, an advantage because music was what I did anyway. I'm a musical theater performer. I started doing that first, so I understood music. I was a fan of music. So a gentleman named Keith Johnstone, if any of you ever start theater sports, he wrote a book about improv. It's called Improv. And in that book, one of the things that I took with me, that is a lesson that I'll be happy to steal and give to you guys, is there are certain scenes that are called art scenes, where you're either called on to sing or dance or use a Shakespearean accent to do a scene. If you can't give the illusion that you can do that actual skill well, then your scene won't work because the audience won't follow you. So if musical improv is something you want to do, you don't have to become the next Celine Dion to do musical improv, but you need to understand musical structure. And I'm not saying go out and take a music class, but if it's something that you want to do, then it would help. You have to know where a song is going. If I say to these guys, give me a Motown riff. Now I don't know what they're going to play, but I've listened to so much Motown that I would hope that I know where the music turns around because I know structure. Even if I wasn't a singer, I'd know. So I'd be getting this stuff from the audience, I'd wait, and then I would come in right here. Dun, 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 dun. That's when I'd start. So it's because I know structure. So I hope that answered the first part of it for you. Then it's something you practice. Really, any of these games, and this is just a short sampling. And if you guys would like to, I'll actually, you are free to come up here and put your name on a mailing list. Give me your email address, and I'm going to try to get my office to get in contact with you guys because I'd like to do this again actually. But I'll furnish you with a list of games and things to help you further that. You have to practice. Any of this is practice. I can't tell you how bad as a performer, not just improv, because not tooting my own horn, but I always knew this is what I was going to do. I started doing this at 16. But natural talent versus actual know-how and skill. So for a few years, I was just doing jobs that I was lucky enough to get hired for, but I sucked. I sucked hard. But I kept on practicing, and I was always singling out the best person in the cast and saying, well, I like how they did that. So I'm going to try to get that. Oh, I like how she sang this. I'm going to get that. So when I started doing improv, we were doing shows 7 nights a week because we didn't know any better. We just thought, hey, we got a theater. So we do shows. We get booed. Thank you very much. Next show, hey, it's a new audience. And eventually you build up the confidence. I'm turning 31 now. I don't think I've still hit my stride as a performer, but I only got to a point where I'm like, yeah, I'm really good at what I do when I turn 25, 26. And so I'm just saying that you have to keep on working. Yes, ma'am. Theater sports is a wonderful place to go to. It's where I learned, not the theater sports here, but in Orlando. There's also comedy sports. There's Improv Olympic. There's Second City. There are the Groundlings. And at some point, I may be talking on my butt right now, but I know that Jonathan and I are going to be forming a new group and hopefully have shows and a teaching space up by this fall. So we'll make sure to put it in the papers and whatnot. Yes, ma'am. Oh, you just putting it up. You were testifying. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Jonathan and I, well, Jonathan still is, but we used to be in a group called the House Full of Honkies, and it's a 7 or 8 it's a 7 or 8 member group. And the worst part about being in a group is having 3 people come off stage and go, "Yeah, that was a great show, man," and you come off stage knowing, like, no, it wasn't. That show was horrible. That show was absolutely wretched. Did you not see the doo-doo we all left on that stage? So it's all subjective. When you're in a group situation, you end up taking the brunt of the show upon yourself. I'm just really hard on myself, which my personality doesn't exactly go along with doing improv because I have to get things right, but I had to learn to let that go because of the nature of improv. I can't tell you how many fights we would get into because someone thought the show sucked and I would take it hard. But you have to learn, and I think that I've gotten to a place where, it's improv. It's cool. You know what? It's a disposable art form. I just did it. I don't remember the scene that we just did 2 minutes ago. So I hope that answered that for you. Yes, ma'am. It's a muscle. It's an internal clock. We know that when we start a scene, you have the first 15, 30 seconds to set up the where and the want. We know that in the next minute and a half, that's where all of your conflict and you're getting ready to go towards the pinnacle of the scene. And then the last 30 to 45 seconds of it, that's where you come down and you have a resolution and a big laugh and a blackout and you leave. So a good improv scene, you guys can tell what you think. A good improv scene really should be about 3 minutes. Yeah. Thanks for, that's yes anding. That's you. Oh yeah, when we decide to do it, that's why I want all of your email addresses and whatnot. You guys will be the first on our mailing list. We'll definitely go out to you guys and let you know where, and when. Now I can either do one thing. I can continue to answer a few questions, or because I believe that I'm getting kicked out. Hey, I'm not.